Welcome to the Mind Your Business Show. I'm your host, Tony Calloway, your private money godfather. And today we've got an exciting topic where we're going to be talking to a businessman taken to Hollywood, Mr. Bob Grease. So get your pen and pencil, get ready to be excited, and we'll be right back. Hey, good morning, Bob. We're glad to have you on the Mind Your Business Show. How's everything with you today?
Wonderful. Thank you for having me.
All right, fantastic. Well, as I said to everybody in the intro, we're excited to hear how you have been successful in business, because the Mind Your Business Show is about business, but you've decided to invest your wherewithal to create opportunities not only for people with talent in their youth, but to entertain and to share all these great things with people all across the country. So what we want to do today is give you a chance to talk about a little bit about your history, but how you've seen your way into Hollywood, into Broadway, and to create an opportunity for all these young people to share their talent.
Thank you. Shall I start with some background?
Yeah, please do. Yeah, give us the human interest story, as I call it.
Great. Well, I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. My family were minority owners of the Cleveland Browns for about 60 years. That was a fun experience to grow up in. I made my way to New York, and then I made my way to Tampa, Florida, when I purchased an arena football team back in the early 90s. And we had a lot of success. We won a couple championships. And then that led me to a very successful business career, primarily running a private equity fund where we are active in terms of buying companies or investing in companies, and also doing a lot of real estate activities, again, buying, or today doing quite a bit of building, mostly in the multifamily space. And then we also do some lending as well. So I've done that for 25 years. We've had a very, very successful track record. We've always, been very conservative about what we do and pick good partners, and it's allowed me to make enough money to fund some other passion projects of mine.
Well, that's fantastic. As a matter of fact, I was doing some research on you, and understand that there was somewhere in your not too distant history, you were involved in taking an energy company public through some arrangements.
Yeah, that was one of our most successful ventures, primarily in the northeastern part of the country, states like Connecticut and New York and Pennsylvania, Washington, New Jersey. Your electric bills are actually deregulated, meaning you have a choice of a supplier, not a choice of who provides your transmission, but who provides the supply. And it's a very good thing because it creates competition and therefore really lower prices than places where there's just a monopoly.
Right.
We bought a company back in 2009. It had about 30,000 customers. We grew it to over 1 million customers. And the company we bought for about 13 million, we eventually took public and sold for $486 million. So it was quite a great ride.
That is fantastic. Well, and I did have the good fortune of meeting you down at your offices in Tampa a few years ago, and you're very impressive, but a very kind gentleman as well. And so certainly appreciate your time today. All right, so all of that put you in a position to get involved with HITS. So let's spend a little bit of the time we have today talking about HITS, the musical. Now, what inspired you to go from your acumen in business to get involved with developing a Broadway musical?
Well, thank you. Well, first of all, I've always found the greatest joy in life is being connected to and helping young people. I have a large volleyball club that has nothing to do with this, of 1,000 girls, and it's enjoyable to watch them compete. But I've watched a program here in Tampa for 30 years called Entertainment Review, which puts on this fantastic show with these big musical medleys. And I always said to the director, who is my ex-wife, but a very dear friend, I always said, the show's so fabulous, you should take it to Broadway. And she always said, well, I don't know how to take it to Broadway. And I said, well, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm going to do that one day. And so a year ago, I finally decided, it was time to do that. And we went around the country last summer. We went to 37 markets. We auditioned 7,000 kids. We picked the absolute greatest singers and dancers ages 10 to 22. And they formed the cast of Hits the Musical. It has really blown up in the last month, and we have a 50-city tour book beginning March 1st. But now we've had major celebrities jump on board, the most notable being the very famous musical legend Dionne Warwick, six-time Grammy Award winner. She and her son found out and said, this is extraordinary what you're doing with young kids, and we'd like to be involved. So she's coming on as an executive producer. And then another very good friend of mine, one of the top WWE individuals, Titus O'Neil, who's really a global ambassador. He similarly is coming on as an executive producer. And it's one of the greatest shows you're ever going to see, because all the music are the greatest songs of all time. We've licensed that music. Record companies have been very helpful. And you're going to see the greatest young singers and dancers in what has now become close to a $10 million production with incredible costuming and lighting. And I know I sound like an indulgent parent, but it's going to be one of the greatest things you've seen. And you should go to see it on the website, 3 words, The Hits Tour, TheHitsTour.com.
Super. As a matter of fact, for the audience, let's take a moment and we're going to play the trailer for the hit so everybody can see what Bob is so excited about. So we'll be right back after you guys get a chance to watch this.
First there was fame, then there was Glee. Now there's Hits, the musical. From Billboard to Broadway, 80 of the biggest hits of all time. You won't want to miss this breathtaking night of electrifying dancing, extraordinary singing, and iconic music featuring America's next young superstars. 90 minutes of pure musical joy that will warm your heart and have you dancing in the aisles.
Yeah.
So get your tickets now. Hits the musical.
Come sail away, come sail
National Tour Spring 2023.
Come sail away.
Bob, man, I see why you're so excited. That was absolutely phenomenal. I mean, the trailer has me ready to be in one of these many places it's going to be. But let me ask you this question from the standpoint of how did you organize to have so many auditions? I mean, just to get a glimpse of the talent of these young people all across the country, to be able to pull the creme de la creme together. I mean, that had to be a massive undertaking in itself.
Well, it's massive and becoming even more massive because in addition to our cast of 29, we have a traveling crew of 12. And what's challenging is that sometimes when you go on the road, you go to a city for an entire week, but because we're brand new, we really can't do that. We have to go to like a show one night only and then move on to the next city because we're brand new. So we're doing really 6-7 times the logistical work of anyone else. We're booking, by the time we're done, 3,000 hotel rooms, 8,000 meals for all the cast members. We have 2 large tractor trailers. Yes, there's a lot of details, but we're on top of it. And the best part of it is the kids are fantastic and the show is fantastic.
Well, that is wonderful. Now, let me ask you, because I've been to a Broadway play. As a matter of fact, I actually went to Broadway and saw Phantom of the Opera. And so it's incredible because in these days, most people watching any type of production on a TV screen or something like that, but actually be in the presence of the talent is moving, is touching. And as I was preparing for the interview, to see the span of genre of music, the time and things like that. The concept behind producing the hits, whose idea was that to do this type of presentation and bring it to Broadway that way?
Well, this is really the directors, and this is, again, very similar to the program that her local group has done for 30 years, which is, first of all, music that everybody loves, and it's music all the way back to the 1960s up to the present day. It's Hollywood. It's, Hollywood meaning all that jazz and Somewhere Over the Rainbow and numbers like that. It's
Right.
Broadway numbers. It's just you will sit there and know every single song in the show, and you won't be able to sit in your seats. You're either going to be singing or you're going to be, standing in the aisles dancing.
Wow. Now, when does the tour start? And you had mentioned it was going to be 50 cities. In fact, we're going to roll the tour as part of the show today. But when does it start? Where does it start? And just kind of give us a flow of where you guys are going to cross the country with this.
Well, we go up for 1 week of what they call previews. It's kind of a soft opening in Asheville, North Carolina on February 23rd and 25th. But then we start officially on March 1st in Concord, New Hampshire. And then we travel for 50 shows and conclude on May 8th in San Francisco. And we go to virtually every major city in between.
Wow. Well, the viewing audience for Beam 7 cable is West Central Alabama. So I don't know if you're going to be Birmingham or anywhere around there. But Atlanta, Georgia is on this side of the river. And I know that there's a performance is going to be in Atlanta. And as you say, these are one night only, no kidding. So just to put it out there for folks who are catching it so you don't get it at the end, how do people go about buying tickets for these different venues where it's going to be held in the various cities across the country?
Sure. Well, first of all, we're going to be in Atlanta on Tuesday, March 28th. We're going to be in Birmingham on Wednesday, April 5th, and we're going to be in Huntsville on Thursday, April 6th.
Wow. And
the easiest way to get tickets is to go to the website, again, www.thehits.com, and you just go to the tour page, and you can go right in there and buy tickets for any show.
All right, fantastic. Now, this is a curious question. Executive producer, you've got director, producer, executive producer. If you could help us to understand the organizational structure of how this creative effort gets turned into an actual production and whose roles these are and what they do to contribute to the result.
Sure. Well, my role as executive producer is a fancy title for paying all the bills. Okay. So that's my job. And my job is organizing everything. But the others have a very meaningful role in either the promotions or creativity. And in Dionne Warwick's case, she'll also be very actively interfacing with the cast and all of that. But we have a very big creative team. So we have, choreographer and a music director, and our set and lighting designer is also Carrie Underwood, set and lighting designer.
Wow.
Our music composers spent the last several years working with Rihanna. So, we have this core team that have been working on this project for about 6 months. And I think all of them came together because of the excitement about working with the greatest young people in the country. There's just something that we all love about talented, inspiring young people.
Right.
And that's what pulled everybody together.
Well, in some regard, this might be a loose parallel, but America's Got Talent is in these other shows that profile up and coming prospects. I think this is a whole different way of doing that you've been able to get the best of the best from across the country. And I see this from two angles. Let's just say that, I had a teenager who was participating and I'm a Georgian. You have a lot of people wanting to come see it. And as you've been able to, get that type of national footprint, I think that's going to certainly inspire a lot of other young people to see that there's opportunity to not only just be a singer or a dancer or performer, but actually be on a national stage. And I think that's one of the things that you're most proud of, in that this is going to be a national production.
Yeah, exactly. Well, by the way, America's Got Talent's a fantastic show, and they recently contacted us about coming on the show.
Really?
We're trying to work out. But the one thing that's different is, so unlike America's Got Talent or even American Idol, we're not a competition. It's a show. And what's so fantastic about it is if you're a younger person, a great younger person, you can sing on TikTok, or you can try to be a recording artist, which a few people do. There's lots of roles if you want to be an actor, an actress. And maybe there's one or two kids that get onto Broadway, but there's not really a great opportunity for young, great people to be on a national stage. And that's one of the things that was so attractive about this, that this is giving them an opportunity to perform throughout the United States, on a very big level, be seen by people all throughout the country. And there's never been anything done like this for exclusively young people. There have been shows that have had young kids in it,
Right.
but there hasn't been a show with only young people, and young people, by my definition, being between the ages of 10 and 22.
Wow, that's something else, man. We're all excited about being able to, go to the various venues and see this. Now, you had talked about it a little bit earlier about the logistics and everything, and I guess because of your position, it's kind of cool that you had sent some pictures of your custom tour bus that's got the hits emblazoned all across it and everything, and of course also you got your own private jet, and I'm sure that some of these young folks are looking forward to being part of the just getting that kind of experience, not only with people of the background and acumen like you mentioned, Dionne Warwick and some of the others, but I think it's inspiring at another level to see what success can bring, not only in talent but also in business.
Well, thank you. Well, the RV was because we had to travel all summer, going to all the cities, and I didn't want to sit in a van all summer, because I'm too old to do that. And the plane, the kids have gotten a real kick out of, I have to say. I told them that they'd have an opportunity to go on one or two of the legs of the trip on the plane, and yeah, that was pretty exciting for them.
Awesome. Now, there's another dynamic to this, and it's on the philanthropic side. And I understand that you have a goal, and you're pronouncing this, and certainly we want to promote it. That at each one of these venues, you like to have people to help donate about 200 tickets, so that young people can, underprivileged people might be able to come and see what's going on and view the show and all that.
Yeah, one of the important missions in the beginning was, I thought, what would be a cooler thing than having young people be able to be inspired by other young people? I mean, I don't know that they really want to listen to an older guy like me, or maybe even you, but they like, their peers. And I thought I'd like to, in each market, be able to set aside some seats. And I have a lot of business friends who've been very kind to contribute monies as charitable donations, so that we can utilize those funds to buy those tickets and make them available for free to deserving youth in each community. I'm working on that also extensively with Titus O'Neil and some of the resources of the WWE to do that as well. And at the end of the day, we all want to give back to kids. I mean,
right.
For all the money we make, it's all nice, but the greatest joy we get in life is helping young people.
Yeah. Now, if any others want to participate in helping to sponsor some of these tickets, how might they communicate their intentions and desires, and make and support that?
Well, I'm going to very shortly put something up on our website, probably next week, about this. And again, so if you go to our website in another week or two, I'll put the information up about what we're doing in terms of the program to allocate seats for underserved youth in the communities.
Okay, yeah, so everybody, whether you're seeing this on cable television, the Beam viewing area, or if you're seeing it on YouTube, definitely avail yourself to the opportunity to attend one of these shows, but also to support, because I think that Bob is being very generous in all that he is doing. And certainly, I think that we all want to pitch in and be part of all that you're able to provide, not only for entertainment, but for the inspiration for the young people. Now, as we start wrapping things up, let me kind of turn back to business a little bit, because the Mind Your Business show is about also inspiring entrepreneurs. Having been successful in business, what are 3 or 4 keys that you would encourage people to engage in order to pursue big success in business?
Well, I think there's a lot of things. And I don't know, it might be hard to narrow it down to 3 or 4. I think number one, your reputation is the most important thing. You never can sacrifice that. I think when you're young, being able to, get to know other successful people that can help you along the way. None of us can do this on our own. I always say when I give speeches to young people, show me who your friends are, and I'll show you how your life's going to turn out. And I don't think there's anything, ever truer than that. I think none of it is a straight path upwards like that, including my own career has been up and down and up and down. And you learn in business, you're going to get knocked down, and you just have to get up off the mat, and failure's our greatest teacher. I even say in sports, if you win all the time, you don't really learn much. You just feel good that, okay, we're good. But it's when you lose, and everybody who's ever been a champion has lost, no matter who they are, it's what you learn from that experience. And some people learn from it and some don't. And that's what I think makes the difference in the really, really great, successful people.
Wow, well, I certainly appreciate you sharing that. All right, so one more time, folks. Hits the Musical. We have Bob Grease, the executive producer, and this is an exciting show that everybody all over the country is going to have a chance to view. And again, we want to support this philanthropic side too, folks. So if you're an organization or an individual, as Mr. Grease says, they're going to be on their website a way that you can support this. So Bob, I'm going to let you give one more shout out to, just get everybody excited about seeing these young people perform this whole vast genre of music with Hits the Musical.
Well, it's going to be one of the most special things that you see. I've seen a lot of things on Broadway and many great things, but there's nothing more magical. There's nothing more moving than watching extraordinary young people singing and dancing to the greatest songs of all time with unbelievable costuming and lighting. And it doesn't matter whether you're 6 years old or 86 years old, like my mother. I probably shouldn't say that. She probably wouldn't want that known, but I let it out. But it doesn't matter where you are, you're going to love Hits the Musical.
Fantastic. Well, we're going to have the full tour scrolling here as part of the Mind Your Business show. Bob, thank you for investing time with our viewing audience today. We're excited about the musical. I'm glad to have a chance to let the world know about it from the Mind Your Business show. And also thank you for sharing what you shared about your business success and how others can do the same. And so, folks, Tony Calloway, your private money godfather, thanks for tuning in. And as I always say, if you're going to go in business and stay in business, you got to mind your business. And we'll see you on the next one.